Hello, folks. I am Alan with today's news. I will be reading and speaking about the world news, interesting news, news to keep you entertained, and news to keep you informed. What I got for you today, right here, is from the independent news. I told you about Alabama. It said guns, no more permits and background checks. In Alabama, people are now allowed to carry guns without a state permit, requiring background checks. The law took effect January 1st, making Alabama the 25th state to push through with this kind of legislation. Right to keep and bear arms. Proponents of the legislation have been unsuccessful for many years in Montgomery, but this year they won approval. The regulation was advocated by gun rights advocates who call it a constitutional carry and reference to the Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. Despite the win, dictators, including state sheriffs and other law enforcers, continue to maintain that gun permits help fight crime and boost public scrutiny and well-being. Those prohibited are still prohibited. So if you're not allowed to carry a gun, you're still not supposed to be carrying a gun. You can read the rest of this in my description box. And here's another one here. It says here, this from Business Insider. The start of 2023 means carrying a gun without a license is now legal in half of the U.S. states. Lipstick, an iPhone, maybe a little Smith & Wesson 38. Says you don't need a permit to carry guns in half of the U.S. states. Alabama's permitless carry law went into effect with the start of a new year. Over the past 2 decades, gun control laws have weakened at the state and federal levels. With the start of the new year, it became sufficiently easier for Alabamians to legally carry guns. The state passed a law last year allowing people to carry concealed handguns without state permits, a change that went into effect on January 1st. The law signaled a gun rights landmark for the U.S. Now, half of the 50 states allow people to carry handguns without permits. It's a mark of how gun control rights have expanded within the U.S. over the past 2 decades. In 2010, for instance, only 2 states allow people to carry guns without permits in the 13 years since. However, almost 24 states have passed similar laws, 11 of which were greenlit in the last 3 years. The Huffington Post Rogue Planners report Sunday. And you can read the rest of this in my description box. The link will be down below. And what I got for you here, I done a little search here. Now, this is for Missouri. That's where I'm from. And I'll put a link in the description box if you want to find out more about these states. And it says here, this like a purple color, I guess. Not really blue, not really purple. I don't know what you call it. But these are the states that honor Missouri permits. And the red here, those are the Missouri permit not honor. So if from Missouri, your gun permit is not honoring the red states. And like I said, I have a link in it. Y'all get used to click on the state here where you're from. It'll tell you more about it. And in the tan one here, it said Missouri resident permit only. So in the tan one, you got to have a Missouri permit if you're a Missouri resident in the tan area. Now the blue and purple, I don't want to call it purple, blue, whatever. These are honors of Missouri permit. So you can have Missouri permit and be allowed these. Missouri grayed out for some reason. They don't have a gray on it because that's Missouri. Now, I'm gonna click on let's click on Tennessee. And it shows here what it shows here. The purple one is honor Tennessee permit. The yellow, which is one state, Tennessee, enhanced only. And the tan, Tennessee resident permits only. And the red, Tennessee not honored. So it looks like the same states that didn't honor Missouri permit won't honor Tennessee either. So all you got to do, just click on the link I have in the description box, then click on your state. It'll tell you more about it. And let me go back to Missouri here. And it says here, anyone can legally possess a firearm, may carry in these states without a permit license. Check each state page for age and other restrictions that may apply. North Dakota had permitless carry also. And then you have to find some more information too at the bottom here. It says a person commits the offense of unlawful use. The unlawful use of weapons, exception penalties. Okay, if these tell you who cannot carry. And I noticed on some of these that you can't carry them in courthouses or schools. And I saw somewhere where it said Missouri. Yeah, right here. Must inform police officer immediately that you got a gun if you get pulled over. Missouri, no, you don't have to. Let me go back to Tennessee. It says that. Let's see what it says there. Say it must inform officer immediately. No, not Tennessee either. So you just click on your state and you can read all about it. It would take me all day to read everything to you. And this is from Forbes. Ukraine's drones keep hitting Russia's bomber bases. Now Russian missile crews are getting jumpy. The Ukrainian military on December 29th apparently sent more explosives-laden drones to strike a Russian Air Force base outside of Moscow. It was at least the fourth such raid in a month, and it apparently rattled Russian air defenders. If you believe the chatter on social media and the chaos following the attack, a Russian missile battery shot down a Russian Air Force. Cool, I can't read that word. 27 fighter jet. Okay, it says here the alleged shoot down, if it happens, and that's a big if, could mirror a possibly similar incident that occurred over Kyiv in the first heady days of a Russian wider war on Ukraine that started in late February. And that incident, we don't know a lot about the apparent December 29 raid on Ingos, a bomber base 400 miles southeast of Moscow. We know more about Russia's attack on the same base on December 26th. So Ukraine is taking over, sounds like. You can read the rest of this in my description box. And waiting for this page to load. There it goes. Oh, now it's going to reload. Okay, this is from Top Speed. Here's how hydrogen power could pose a threat to electrical vehicles. As the automotive industry continues to innovate, hydrogen fuel is becoming an increasingly hot topic of conversation. Governments and environmental groups alike are taking note as car companies rapidly introduce revolutionary new technologies that allow vehicles like a Hyperion XP1 and Hyundai Envision to use this form of energy. A potential for more efficient transportation had never got greater. Now, I was reading before, I think yesterday, about these hydrogen vehicles. It feels very, very explosive, you know. It says fuel cells electric vehicles FCEVs could revolutionize the transportation industry. These efficient machines produce no tailpipe emission, only water vapor and warm air. Powered by pure hydrogen gas stored in a tank on board, these cars can be fueled up for a driving range of over 300 miles in less than 4 minutes, similar to conventional vehicles with an internal combustion engine. And and we know EVs, they take forever, to fill them up. The other advanced technologies such as regenerative braking further increase efficiency by capturing energy during the braking process and revert it back into storage batteries. Mainstream automakers have already released CFEVs models like the Toyota Mirai, Honda FXC Clarity, which was discontinued, and Hyundai Nexo in select markets depending on the local infrastructure support. The U.S. Department of Energy, which is DOE, recently revealed an internal intent to investigate the development and demonstration of cost-effective, efficient, clean hydrogen energy technology to achieve a major initiative known as hydrogen shot. This is part of Biden administration Grand Climate Goals campaign, which seeks carbon neutral across the industry by 2050. Investing in this project has potential benefits, including reducing costs of both fuel cells and infrastructure needs related to hydrogen technology, along with working toward reaching $1 per kilogram within the 1 decade time frame. Now, what I'm worried about, we got gas stations. They put up charging stations. Are they going to have hydrogen stations now? And how many is there going to be near you? Anyway, you can read the rest of this in my description box. Here's something from MoneyWise. They ain't seen nothing yet. President Biden has accused oil companies of war profiteering and threatened them with a windfall tax, but will help the gas prices. In the wake of scorching inflation, the Russia war in Ukraine, major gas companies like Chevron and the Exxon Mobil are raking in profits, and it's got President Joe Biden hot under the collar. There's a disclaimer here. Okay. Anyway, in November days before the midterm election, Biden launched an attack on the industry, calling their record profits a windfall of war, not the result of anything new or innovative. And now is an international energy envoy is calling on all companies to think of American consumers. I think that the idea of financiers would tell companies that the United States not to increase production and to buy back shares and increase dividends when the profits are at all-time highs and outrageous. And you can read the rest of this getting pretty close to my time, in my description box. Here's something from Tell Me Best. New categories of products to be locked behind glass in stores like Walmart. As a consumer, there is no more frustrating situation than wanting to purchase a product and having to search for many aisles to locate a store employee to unlock the case that protects that product from theft. This has been the procedure for a long time when shopping for some of the smaller high-dollar products like video cameras, cell phones, and video games. However, stores like Walmart, CVS, and Walgreens are starting to lock up entire product categories of most common and less expensive items in their store location. I've been noticed that at Walmart when I do go in there. This is frustrating for shoppers and causing decreases in those products' sales revenue because consumers are finding alternative means to purchase those products rather than spending their valuable time playing the employee hide and seek game. According to Yahoo, the 2022 National Retail Security Survey from the National Retail Federation found that retail shrink, the loss of inventory and things other than sales, now amounts to a nearly $1 billion problem. Yeah, I know that one time I was going to buy an electric toothbrush in Walmart and it was locked up. I said, hell with it, I'll go somewhere else. Trying to find employees to help you and stuff. Anyway, this is from Z Live News. No power, massive attack on Russian city. After a Ukrainian drone attack, the power went out of the Russian region of Binska, something like that, near the border with Ukraine. A Ukrainian drone strike was carried out on this one district this morning. Governor Alexander, can't say his name, said via telegram, all emergency service are on site. As a result of the attack, the power supply was damaged and there is no electricity. The attack is said to have taken place in this one district, the region border Ukraine to the south. Anyway, you can read the rest of this in my description box. I'm trying to speed this up here. This is from Oh My Mag. Putin, this may be who the mysterious blonde woman in this photo was Russian president. On Saturday, 31st December, President Putin addressed his nation in his annual New Year's Eve speech, where he appeared in front of a group of soldiers who had apparently fought in Ukraine. These are the soldiers. It's going to reload. Here, let me reload it. These are the soldiers that they're talking about, and they're saying they're actually actors. He paid actors, to be in his photo. It said here, paranoia in a recurring cast. The Sun reported about Putin's address on Saturday, where they are calling the Russian president a puppet master who now stands accused of, in the West, of using paid actors to pose as soldiers. Ever since the quarantine period during the coronavirus pandemic, Putin has reported become increasingly paranoid, isolating himself and being seen only by the inner circle. For the New Year's Eve speech, Putin is seen standing in front of a group of people who appear to be soldiers. However, 3 people from the group have become something of a reoccurring cast who are often seen in different settings around Putin. Putin is seen raising a glass of champagne to praise the war effort when the same day Russian missiles hit civilian targets in Kyiv, Ukraine. And it says here, paid actors. And I'm about finished with my news now. Let's see what I got here. This one from the Monthly Food about 4 reasons why I would drive my 13-year-old car until the wheels fall off. I had a 14-year-old Ford Ranger, nothing wrong with it, and everything tough on it, and until I had my fatal accident, and then it got demolished. And that was 14 years. That was a year ago, and that was a 14-year-old pickup truck, and I was going to run that until I did run the wheels off, and I could have probably ran another 10 years too. It was a good little pickup. Anything was wrong with it, I had it fixed right away. Yeah, they say here I have not had a car payment. I haven't had a car payment on my truck either. Now I do, which I'm trying to get rid of. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, watch again. If you don't subscribe, keep watching. You'll help me. Anyway, have a nice day. Later.